Welcome. UPND and ActionAid clash over selective justice in Zambia's anti-corruption fight. A sharp dispute has emerged between Zambia's ruling party and a prominent civil society organization over claims that the justice system is being applied unevenly in corruption cases under the United Party for National Development, UPND government. ActionAid alleges selective justice. ActionAid Zambia, represented by Country Director Fades Tembatemba, publicly asserted that there appears to be selective justice in corruption cases under the current administration. According to Tembatemba, too much prosecutorial energy seems directed toward opposition figures, while individuals allied with or connected to the ruling party may not face similar scrutiny. She also called for greater transparency in how assets forfeited in corruption cases are managed by the state. These claims were made amidst rising public debate about high-profile prosecutions, including the forfeiture of assets belonging to Dalitso Lungu, son of former President Edgar Lungu, which sparked discussion about fairness and consistency in enforcement of anti-corruption laws. UPND responds with a rebuttal. The UPND, through its media director Mark Simiwe, rejected the claims of selective justice as broad and unsubstantiated, challenging ActionAid to provide verifiable evidence if such disparities truly existed. The party reiterated its commitment to rule of law and asserted that constitutionally mandated institutions, including the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, and the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC, are independent and act without political bias. Background: ActionAid's role in governance debates. ActionAid Zambia has consistently engaged on issues of governance, accountability, and transparency, often collaborating with partners to promote citizen participation in demand-driven governance reforms. Its critique reflects broader civil society efforts to push for stronger accountability systems and to ensure corruption investigations do not appear politically motivated. Civil society actors argue that anti-corruption efforts must not only focus on individual prosecutions, but also on systemic reforms that support institutional independence and fairness. Legal experts and civil society perspectives on democratic reforms. The debate over selective justice touches on deeper concerns about the rule of law, institutional credibility, and democratic accountability in Zambia. 1. Institutional consistency and public confidence. Some legal experts and governance watchers note that Zambia's recent legal reforms, such as the establishment of the Financial and Economic Crimes Court, were intended to improve the speed and effectiveness of anti-corruption prosecutions, helping restore confidence in the justice system. Government officials have pointed to these reforms as evidence of progress in the fight against corruption. However, skeptics argue that visible improvements in procedures do not automatically ensure perceptions of impartiality. For instance, high-profile acquittals, such as that of Livingstone Mayor Constance Mulabai, have sparked claims that the justice system fails to consistently uphold accountability, especially when investigations are viewed as weak or politically selective. 2. Civil society calls for equal enforcement. Civil society organizations beyond ActionAid, such as the CSO's Consortium on Governance, have previously warned against the selective application of laws, particularly when criminal defamation charges or other legal tools are used more frequently against critics of the government than against its allies. They argue that unequal enforcement erodes public confidence in democratic institutions and can chill dissent. These perspectives echo broader civic concerns about shrinking civic space and the need for democratic reforms that protect freedom of expression, legal fairness, and public participation in governance processes. Some groups have emphasized that legal frameworks, including criminal defamation laws and rules governing public protest, must align with international standards to safeguard democratic rights. 3. Perception and public trust. Surveyed data indicate that while many Zambians express some confidence that ordinary citizens can obtain justice, a notable portion also believe that officials who commit crimes often go unpunished and that people are treated unequally under the law. Such perceptions, whether rooted in experience or public discourse, influence how citizens interpret debates about selective justice and contribute to broader discussions on strengthening democratic culture. 4. Governance frameworks and international standards. Transparency International Zambia and similar watchdogs have urged the government to domesticate the United Nations Convention Against Corruption and enhance legislative infrastructure to support anti-corruption efforts. They contend that aligning laws with international standards would help reinforce institutional independence and reduce opportunities for selective enforcement. How the debate shapes Zambia's democratic reforms. The exchange between ActionAid and the UPND reflects more than a disagreement over wording. It highlights the central role of credible, independent institutions in democratic governance. Efforts to fight corruption, whether through prosecutions, asset recovery, or policy reforms, can strengthen democracy if they promote transparency and institutional trust. Conversely, perceived inconsistency or politicization of justice can erode public confidence and fuel calls for broader legal and constitutional reforms. As Zambia heads toward a general election cycle, these debates are likely to continue shaping public expectations about governance, accountability, and democratic reform. Ensuring that legal processes are fair, transparent, and seen to apply to all citizens equally remains a fundamental challenge for the country's institutions and civil society alike. Thank you for watching. For more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. One Zambia, one nation, one people.